Okay, class, in this assignment, I want you to use your sketchbooks and some paint, and we're going to do a very simple mountain landscape using colors and values in a certain way. I want you to label off to the left side, background, middle ground, foreground. Notice the colors that we're going to use in each section. Much lighter colors in the background, and I would also recommend adding maybe some water to those once you use them. And middle ground, a little bit more bold color with some green, and in the foreground, even bolder color with some black. So we're going to start in the background. We've got the sky already established here, so kind of work with the rest of your sketchbook and start with the sky. And then we're going to use a slightly darker blue for the mountains back here, but not just blue by itself. We need to have plenty of white mixed in with that. We do want it to be darker than the sky, though. So mix enough blue in there until you get it as light as you want or as dark as you want, and then we're going to start putting that in. So we'll have like a mountain top coming up into the sky here. It continues down this direction. And then I'm going to have some white for snow. And we're going to say that the light is coming from the left side. So while this is still wet, I'm going to have some of that white be a little bit more pure over here. And then on this side, where there's snow on the mountain, I'm going to mix that in with the remaining color that is still wet. And you're just kind of doing whatever mountains you feel like. It doesn't matter too much how they look. But we've got some brighter white snow. We've got some darker snow because it's on the shadowy side of the mountain. Brighten that up a little bit there. Okay, so that's like our farthest away mountain. Now our next mountain, I'm going to start using some of these middle ground colors. So there I want to add a little bit of a greenish tone to it. Maybe a little bit more. You can always adjust it as you go. All right, so I'm going to have another mountain here, and for now I'm going to just paint that right over everything else. I think I'm going to have a lot of snow on the mountains up here, so I won't cover up that part. So just cover that, the base cover color of green, greenish color. And then let's do some shadows next. So we'll kind of get some deeper blues. You can even do some purples in this part if you want to. So this is going to be for like the shadows of the mountains. So deeper, medium blue color, kind of like that. So this will show some of those deep kind of valleys and rifts and grooves in the mountains. Again, this side is darker and more shadowy over here. And then we'll get some snow added, just like before, a little bit more pure white snow on the left-facing sides, maybe even a little bit brighter than before since this is closer to us. Lots of snow up here. My background is still wet, so it's kind of mixing with some of this color. So if I want to brighten it up even more, I'll just add some more white, especially on those left sides. Anytime you're painting, think about where the light's coming from. Where's there going to be more shadow? Where's there going to be more highlights? All right, now on this left-facing side, we still do have some snow, but it's going to be mixed in with a little bit more blue. So here's a darker, shadowy area. but still in the snow. These would be like some ski slopes that you ski down. Definitely not for me. I am not a skier. I'd be flying off that mountain. Okay, so that's middle ground. And foreground, remember we want some of that same color, but a little bit bolder, and we'll even add some black this time. So I'm going to go back to making more of a brighter greenish color. So here I'm going to have a mountain that starts down low, then it comes up high just like the others, all the way up off our edge. So again, I want you to do this same picture for yourself and don't worry about getting it exact. Kind of do your own thing with it, but follow these same steps, especially with the color changes and the value changes as this comes forward in space. We're talking about depth, creating something that looks further away and some stuff that looks closer. All right, so now, again, this mountain, even up close, will have some darker parts to it. I'm going to go quite a bit darker with more blue in some of it. There we go. So just little details, mountain details. And we do still want some up here that is almost black. So let's get a little bit of that going. A lot of people think that they have to have darker stuff in the background. In fact, you want darker stuff mostly in the foreground, but you can't have it all dark. Further away something is, especially outside, back there it's going to get lighter and lighter, more bluish or more purplish. The closer something is to you, the more it is going to look darker and have higher contrast between the darks and the lights. And to finish this off, I'm going to even have a mountain coming off this side that is the right facing side of the mountain, so it's all going to be dark. Got to fill in our space here. And since some of this is facing to the left, we will have a little touch of light over on one part of it. You're right about here, there'd be some light coming in. Right about there. Maybe one kind of sunlight coming over the edge right there as well. Okay, that's about it. And you could add a lot more to that if you wanted to, if you had time. But again, I want you to try to copy this kind of just whatever you can do. Far away mountains, middle distance mountains, close up mountains, thinking about the colors changing as they come forward, the values changing. So it's getting darker and higher sense of contrast as you come up. and definitely overlapping, and just be thinking about background colors, middle ground colors, foreground colors. Do the best you can with that. Doesn't have to be very big, so that's less than half a sketchbook page. Get a photograph of that and turn that in for today's assignment.